Good day everyone, my name is Esebagbon. I'm a student of Fountain School, Abuja. I'm in SS1 and today I'm here to talk about a very popular topic in mathematics. It's called indices. Now before we go deep into the various aspects of indices, let's first of all look at the brief history on how this great topic came to be. Before indices got the name that it has now, it was first called exponent, which was gotten from two Latin words, expo meaning out of and ponere meaning place. So indices was first used in the book of arithmetic integers written by this English mathematician Michael Stifel. So indices can be simply defined as a simple way of expressing large figures. Now let's move into another aspect of indices, which are the laws regarding this topic. Now when solving indices, there are specific laws that you need to follow in order not to get yourself confused. Let's get right on it. So the first law of indices is the multiplicative law, and this law states that x raised to power a times x raised to power b. Since the basis of these numbers are all the same, so we only pick one. Bring down our x, and the powers attached to those numbers, we are adding them. So you have a plus b. Now, if you may not understand this format, let's take some examples under it. So, example 1. Let's say we have a number like 10 raised to power, let's say 4 times 10 raised to power 2. You notice that this 10 and this 10 are the same, so we are picking 1. So we bring down our 10, and according to the law, we are adding these powers together. So we have 4 plus 2. Then we bring down our 10, and 4 plus 2 is 6. So our answer is 10 raised to power 6. Now, let's take one more example under this law. Supposing you have a number like, let's say, 8 raised to power 2, let's say, times 2 raised to power 1. Now, since the bases aren't the same, we can multiply as usual. So 8 times 2 is 16. We bring down our 16. Then, as we now add the power. Now, let's go to the second law, which is the divisive law. And this law states that x raised to power a divided by x raised to power b equals x raised to power a minus b. As you can see, this law and this law, they are almost similar, but the only difference is here we are subtracting the powers and here we are adding them. Let's take some examples under it. So let's say you have a number like, let's say 2 raised to power 4 divided by 2 raised to power 2. Now, as usual, since these both bases are the same, we only pick one of the two. And now we are subtracting their powers. So if we subtract their powers, we will be having 2 raised to power 4 minus 2 is 2. You have 2 raised to power 2. Now let's take the third law of indices. Now, law 3. And this law of indices states that x raised to the power 0 is 1. Now, I know you may be asking yourself, how is it possible that x raised to the power 0, which is not equal up to 1, can be the same as 1? Now, let's elaborate on that. Supposing you have a number like 2 raised to the power 6 divided by 2 raised to the power 6. Now, if we divide this normally, we will be having 2 raised to the power 6 minus 6. We will now be having 2 raised to the power 0. If this example is still confusing you, let me elaborate more on it. So what really went on here was this: 2 raised to the power 6 over 2 raised to the power 6. Now let's expand them. We will now be having 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 over 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So now, since we are dividing all of them, so we notice that these 2 can go into this one, 1. So we divide the 2 go into 2, 1, bring 1 here. 2 go into 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So now we can now multiply them. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is still 1. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 1, 1. And 1 times 1 is still got 1. The same goes with this one. So as you can see, we arrived at 1, which is the same thing we got here. So you can see that the two values we got here are the same. Now let's go to the 4th law of indices. Now, 4th law states that x raised to the power minus a equals 1 over x raised to the power a. So any number that the power is in the negative form, you always change it to have 1 over that number and its power. So let's take some examples under it. So at David we have a number like 3 raised to the power 2, minus 2. So if we want to solve this, we will make this 3 1 over 3 raised to the power 2. As you can see, we have changed it, and now we can carry on with our question. So now 3 raised to the power 2 is 9. So your final answer will be 1 over 9. Let's take a second example. If we have a number like, let's say, 5 raised to the power minus 3, we first of all follow the law and change it to 1 over 5 raised to the power 3. Now we solve. 1 over 5 raised to the power 3 is the same thing as 125. And that is our answer. Now, let's go to the 5th law.